Students, today I am going to tell you the topic related with PBR 322, that is insertional inactivation. PBR 322 is the first artificial cloning vector constructed by Bolivar and Rodriguez in 1977. These plasmid contains the site for origin of replication, where the replication starts. Near to that, there is a structure which is colored in green color portion, that is ROP, meaning the protein which helps in origin of replication. Then you can see two pink colored region, those are the selectable markers. One is ampicillin resistance gene and the second is tetracycline resistance gene, that is given here as AMPR and TETR respectively. You can see in the ampicillin resistance gene there are two recognition site for two different enzymes, and they are PST1 and PVU1, meaning only PST1 restriction enzyme is going to cut at that region, PVU1 restriction endonuclease is going to cut at that region. In tetracycline resistance gene, there are two recognition site for two different restriction enzymes. They are BAMH1 site and CEL1 site. Whereas in between these two ampicillin resistance gene, you can see three more restriction enzymes, that is ECO or you can say recognition site for enzymes ECOR1, CLA1, HIN-D3 and down you can say one PVU2. So there are total 8 recognition site for different restriction for 8 different restriction enzymes. Students, you can see in the second picture, PBR 322, the tetracycline resistance gene has two sites, BAMH1 site and SAL1 site. Now, if suppose I want to insert my gene of interest at BAMH1 site, so what I will do, I will expose this PBR 322 to the restriction enzyme endonuclease, I can say BAMH1. So BAMH1 will recognize that site and that plasmid is going to cut at BAMH1 site only. So what will happen? Plasmid is going to open at that region, so entire portion will go. And now the same enzyme will be going and cutting the gene of interest. And as a result, that gene of interest can be ligated where the plasmid has opened up. Now, because the foreign gene has inserted into that region where the tetracycline resistant gene is present, now that gene will not have its power of antibiotic resistance because foreign gene have inserted over there. So when any foreign DNA is inserted into the actual gene, that actual gene becomes inactive. So it will not express in the host cell or in that bacterial cell. So this is called as insertional inactivation. Foreign gene is inserted, so actual gene will not express. The tetracycline resistance power will go. So insertional inactivation is the concept. Now students, we will see how selectable markers help to identify transformant plasmid with that of non-transformant plasmid. Now what is transformed plasmid? That plasmid will have alien DNA or gene of interest, and non-transformant meaning the actual plasmid without any foreign DNA. Okay, now you can see the step 1 has two test tube. The first test tube has the plasmids. Okay, and now this plasmid are treated with the restriction enzyme BAMH1. When restriction enzyme BAMH1 recognizes that site in the tetracycline resistance gene, and this restriction enzyme is going to cut that particular portion. So what will happen? Plasmid will open up, and that opened up plasmid you can see in the test tube or you can see the next picture of the test tube. Now students, you can see the second step. Here the desired gene, here it is taken as insulin gene. So that gene has been cut by the same restriction enzyme BAMH1, and now we got the different insulin gene or the target gene. That target gene is now added to that test tube where the plasmid have opened up. So what will happen when insulin is added to this plasmid? Some of the plasmid will take up this insulin, and then joining of the insulin gene with that of the plasmid will be done by ligation or will be done by enzyme ligase, and some plasmid before taking the insulin gene only they will be closing up. Okay, so they will not take the insulin gene. So here we can get two types of plasmid. The first plasmid wherein there will be gene of interest, you can see the small red color portion, result is given that side, that is transformed plasmid or transformed vector with alien DNA, and the original plasmid which has closed up without taking the insulin gene or gene of interest. So that is the original plasmid. So I can say that this is non-transformed plasmid, and the plasmid with alien DNA is the transformed plasmid. So we got now transformed and non-transformed. Third step includes introduction of these vectors into the bacteria or the host cells we say. Now we will get three different types of bacteria. The first type of bacteria wherein it will not pick up any of the plasmid. So no plasmid in the bacteria, no resistance power to any of the antibiotic, that is ampicillin and tetracycline. Second type of bacteria which has taken non-transformed plasmid or the actual plasmid. If it has taken non-transformed plasmid, meaning it will have both the antibiotic resistance gene perfect. So whenever this bacteria is exposed to any of the antibiotic, this bacteria is going to survive. Third type of bacteria we will take the transformed plasmid wherein tetracycline gene or that tetracycline gene has been inactivated because foreign gene, insulin gene was inserted into that. Okay, so let us see when this type of bacteria is exposed to any of the antibiotics, what will happen to that. So that will come under step 4. In the fourth step, all these three types of bacteria are grown in the culture medium having ampicillin. Now imagine students, if these three bacteria are exposed to ampicillin, what is going to happen? Let us see one by one. First type of bacteria with no plasmid will not have any antibiotic resistance power. So definitely the first type of bacteria is going to die. Second type of bacteria which has taken non-transformed plasmid. So we will have both the resistance power, both ampicillin as well as tetracycline gene. So obviously it is going to survive because it has that ampicillin resistance power. Whereas third type of bacteria has inactivated tetracycline gene, but ampicillin is still there. Okay, so third type of bacteria is also going to survive because of ampicillin resistance power. Okay, so with this we can actually get only two types of bacteria which are surviving. Now let us see in the step 5 what is to be done. Now students, remaining second and third type of bacteria with non-transformed plasmid and transformed plasmid are grown in the Petri plate having tetracycline. So culture medium with tetracycline. So now what will happen? Since the transformed plasmid will not have transformant or not have tetracycline resistance power, will definitely die because foreign gene has inserted. So insertional inactivation. Whereas the non-transformed plasmid in the Petri dish or in the bacteria will survive because it has both the resistance power, ampicillin and tetracycline. Now students, you can see here two culture plates. The first culture plate having ampicillin as a substrate and second as a tetracycline substrate. So in the first culture plate, wherein in that ampicillin is present, so both the type of bacteria are growing that will be having non-transformed plasmid as well as transformed plasmid. Whereas in the second culture plate, wherein there is tetracycline, so transformed plasmid will not grow because in that tetracycline gene alien gene was inserted, so tetracycline power of resistance will be not there. Whereas ampicillin type of bacteria, that is non transformed bacteria, will be growing. To become more easy, I have given here numbers 1 2 3 4 5. These are the bacterial colonies. You can see in the first culture plate number 1, number 2 is present. In the second culture plate also number 1 and number 2 type of bacteria is present. But what about 3? 3 is not present in the second culture plate. Now why so? Because that must be the bacteria which will not have tetracycline resistance gene. That tetracycline resistant gene have inactivated. That means third type of bacteria will be the transformed bacteria having transformed plasmid. Got it? So this is the way how we can identify the transformed plasmid or transformed bacteria, or I can say recombinant bacteria from that of the non-recombinant ones. If you see further, number 6 and 7 is not there in the second culture plate, meaning that will be the recombinant plasmid or recombinant bacteria with the transformed plasmid. Okay, but do remember students, selection of recombinants due to inactivation of antibiotics is a cumbersome procedure because it requires simultaneous plating on two plates, as you can see here, having different antibiotics. Therefore, biotechnologists have developed alternative selectable markers that differentiate recombinants from non-recombinants on the basis of their ability to produce color in the presence of chromogenic substrate. So students, here we'll see how chromogenic substrate or chromogenic gene act as a selectable marker. So let me draw a same plasmid. That plasmid will have one gene, and that gene is called as LEC-Z gene. And this LEC-Z gene acts as a selectable marker. How? Let us see that. LEC-Z gene produces a one type of substrate, and that, or I can say the enzyme, that enzyme is referred as beta galactosidase. This beta galactosidase produces a colored product, and that is in blue color. That's why chromogenic. Okay, so blue colored product is produced. So imagine students, when this plasmid is inserted into the bacteria, bacteria will be producing blue colonies. Okay, now imagine the second condition, wherein in this LEC-Z gene, okay, this is the first case. Now if suppose, okay, so in this second case, if alien DNA or gene of interest is inserted at this location in the LEC-Z gene, okay, so target gene is inserted in this LEC-Z gene. So what will happen? LEC-Z gene will not produce beta galactosidase. And if beta galactosidase is not produced, that blue colored product will be also not produced. So blue colored product is not produced. So what will happen? Because of insertion of target gene in the original gene, LEC-Z gene have inactivated. That means insertional inactivation, and this insertional inactivation will help us to identify the transformant into non-transformant. How? If this plasmid is inserted into the bacteria and that bacteria is grown into the culture medium, the blue colored product or blue colored colonies will be not produced. That means it will be easy for us to identify this particular type of plasmid, or I can say this particular type of transformant bacteria or recombinant bacteria. One more picture I'll show you, that will be more easy for your. See students, in the first case, the gene of interest, that is red color gene, have inserted. As a result, the white colonies can be seen, meaning it has not produced that blue colored product because beta galactosidase is not produced, so chromogenic color is not produced. Whereas in the second case, if you see, there is original gene like Z gene that produces beta galactosidase, so you get a product of blue colored, and that's why the colonies, bacterial colonies, will be also blue color. That's why to identify my type of bacteria with gene of interest, obviously I am going to select the white color colony because it is not having that blue colored product, meaning like Z gene is not present, it is inactivated because of that. So this is how the selectable markers help us to identify transformant bacteria from that of the non-transformant, or recombinant bacteria from that of the non-recombinant ones. Thank you students.